very week he finished this book in August of 1953, he had been sending his books to his cinematic hero, John Huston, saying, if you like my books half as much as I love you, I'd love to write a screenplay for you one day. And the week he finished Fahrenheit 451, the phone rang, and Ray Bradbury was at a bookstore with his dear friend Ray Harryhausen, who's credited as being the godfather of stop-motion animation in Hollywood. 7 Voyages of Sinbad and Mighty Joe Young and all these stop-motion special effects. He was at a bookstore called Acres of Books in Los Angeles, and John Huston called his house, and his wife picked up, and Huston said, I'd like to speak to your husband. Have him call me immediately. And that night he went home, and his wife said, John Huston phoned. Not a bad week. Finishes his masterwork, and his hero calls him and says, come to the Beverly Hills Hotel tonight. I want to talk. Bradbury walked into Huston's suite, and Huston put a martini in his hand and said, what are you doing the next year? Bradbury said, not much, Mr. Huston, not much. And Huston said, how would you like to come to Ireland and help me kill the white whale? Bradbury panicked. He said, gee, Mr. Huston, I've never been able to read that damn book. And Huston said, go home tonight, read Moby Dick, and call me in the morning and let me know if you'd like to write the screenplay to the Melville Classic. Of course, you know that that's an impossible feat. But he went home, and he walked in, and he told his wife, pray for me. And she said, why? And he said, because I have to read a book and do a book report by morning. And he thumbed through Moby Dick and saw in it biblical allegory, mythological metaphor and overtones and themes, and Shakespeare, things that Bradbury himself loves. And called Huston the next day and said, I'm in, let's go. So the week he finishes Fahrenheit 451 is the week he goes off to Ireland to write the screenplay to Moby Dick.